Sorry, it is early in the morning. I haven't had my coffee yet, and I'm a little excited because one, I lost some weight this morning, so I'm kind of like, I'm focused on that today. But I also need to do this video. Well, I don't need to. I want to do the video. But the video, as you can see, is about me taking photos, and I'm going to show you my photos today. And I'm going to try to sit right here so I can have the photos right here without blocking all of this. I am filming in Vivid, so I'm hoping this kind of puts like a good, not cold feel, but almost like a movie kind of feel to this. I'm also filming in 60/40 LP, so I saw that was like movie quality, so I was like, maybe that will change the look of, you know, maybe that'll change the quality of the look. I don't know. Shall we do? I think I have everything in an untitled folder. And it's pretty much all of my photos that I have done. Most of these photos, I pretty much took all of these photos when I was back at home. My first photo session, or my first set of photos, if it will ever open. There we go. Albums. Yeah, I have them on my phone. I'm just going to do it on my phone. Okay. So, fixing all that. Sorry. I literally... okay. This tripod. I'm going to have to get a new tripod because this one is too gentle and light for my camera, because my camera is like super heavy, and if you have a Canon or something like that, you know that can get pretty heavy. So I have to refocus my face, I believe, and it's focused. So now on with the video, because I'm at like 7 minutes on this camera, and I know that I cannot take too long doing this. But I have like a couple of photos, I think it's like 40. So this next one was part of my actual first people photo shoot. So I took my little brother and I took his girlfriend, and we went to a bunch of places. This one was a bunch of cabins. We tried to go to that sunflower field, but they told us we couldn't, you know, take pictures over there. So then we went over to these cabins, and it's like a old historic cabins. Photoshopped anything special here. The only thing I did was add like a darkness around the camera, and that's about it. This next one, I did a high pass on just to make everything pop a little bit more. I also did some surface blurring, and I did some noise reduction because in the background it was getting a little noisy. And this one I love because it shows how dark the wood is, and I love how the wood looks in the background. I also love how you can't see what's behind them because there's like a table and some stuff back there. But I love this picture. Like, I love her hair in it. I don't like there's a hair right here next to her mouth. In a lot of pictures there's a whole bunch of stuff like that, but I didn't want to Photoshop her face or take anything out. But I think I did also Photoshop right here where her bra was showing, because I didn't want her, you know, nobody wants their bra showing in a picture. So what I did a layer pat, or I did a, what do you call it when it's a area, I forgot what it is, but it fills itself in. So you just like highlight the area, and then it'll do like it'll take from, it's creative something. I can't, creative patching, no, creative awareness, something like that. Auto awareness, creative awareness, something like that. It takes whatever's around and it adds to it. So like, I think it took some of her hair. It actually made her hair look longer and thicker, which was great. I'm glad that it did that. Or auto aware correctness, auto correctness, auto aware correct. You know what I mean. If you know what I mean, I'm gonna have it right here. I don't even know why I'm tongue tying over this. Okay, so this picture is also one of my favorites. I thought the background blurred out, but I'm kind of glad it didn't. But I wish it kind of did. and I wish I would have photoshopped the shutter out of the picture, but I'm kind of glad I didn't also, because that would have been a lot of, I would have had to done Photoshop all the way from the ceiling down on that wall just to make it all match. Not really, it would have been easy, but I feel like it's an okay picture. I did blur it at first when I was editing and it didn't look right, so I was like, I'm going to keep it clear. You can see the porch, you can see the background, there's no cars, you can see like a gate across the way, but it doesn't really entirely ruin the picture. There's nothing that really ruins the picture in here. I try to get it to focus on her and everything blur around her, but the aperture, I guess, I did not have that right, and so yeah. And I didn't want to zoom in and cut his face out. I wanted him to be in the picture, but I wanted him to be blurred out. I wanted everything else to be blurred out, but obviously that didn't happen. So maybe another day or another time I'll come back and do a photo like this and have it blurred. But from now, I like it. The blues came out really pretty. The greens came out really pretty. The white, I didn't really focus on getting the whites too white because I wanted to be able to see the paneling on the roof and to see all the detail in the white. I didn't want to wash everything out. One of my favorites, because I love the blues. I love how his shirt pops. I try to make his shirt and the stairs obviously were a different kind of blue, so I was able to bump up his shirt and the stairs separately. But there's some shots where the blue and his shirt both do pop up. And I'm sorry, there's a bird right outside the door. But with the blue shirt and the blue background, I try to make it as dreamy looking as possible and try to brighten them up and bring them forward and make the white a little bit white but not too white, so it's kind of like an off-white to kind of set off the two different blues, because if I had the white too white, that would also turn blue, and I could have bumped up the yellow, but it would have made the whites yellow, so I had to try and find a good medium between the whites and the blues, or else the whites would have turned blue too. And then also her face, she's a little bit more fair complected, because my little brother does sports, so he's outside a lot, so she's really fair complected, and I had to watch out for her being overexposed. But it turned out pretty good. I didn't have to do a lot of photoshopping on this. I kind of like the stairs and how rustic they look. I guess I could have photoshopped the rail out because it's just a random rail sticking out, but I do like the light coming from behind them. There's another picture, nope, I didn't show that picture, but there's a picture, if you look on my website, it's a little bit more closer and her arms are around him and she has like one arm, you know, holding him and on his shoulder, and I like the picture on that because I somehow got the background light to be a little bit more yellow, and it bounced off the blue and was like kind of contrasting because, you know, blue and orange. It was like cool and warm tones in a whole picture, and it looked so pretty and I loved it. This picture, it turned out a little bit green, but I kind of like how you can see the trees and the greenery in the picture because it's all cool tones, but there's a little bit of warmth in there, or I feel like that greenery makes it a little bit warmer in that picture. The whites, the building did bounce. It did have a lot of green bounce back, I guess you could say. There's a lot of green in this picture, and so when I did brighten up those whites, the green showed a lot. And I think I tried to bump up the yellow to make the whites whiter, but when I did that, it just turned into this green. So I just kind of left it there because with the green highlights, I think it's a highlight. I think the greens are in the highlights because that building was bouncing off the green. Like the green was literally like, I don't know how. It only showed in the picture though, because in real life it showed really white and clear and pretty. But yeah, there's a lot of green. So I kind of just lightened it a little bit, but I bumped those greens on those windows and try to get those to really look nice and clean and pretty, and I like it because, you know, it's better than seeing buildings in the windows, so I'm glad that there's actual greenery in the windows. And then I also did a high pass on this to make their skin a little bit more precise and stuff, and I like how you can zoom in on this picture and there's a lot of detail in this. So yeah, especially on the building, since it has like the designs and the paneling and stuff. I really liked it. So, and this one is a little bit edited on the smoothness just because it's a close-up and you can kind of see a little bit more on their face. So I did a smoothing on their face. It affected their hair a little bit. I should have like messed with their hair, but I kind of like how it looks. I like how smooth it looks. I like how studio-esque it looks. So I kept it like that because it actually just makes everything look cleaner. I don't know why, but I like it. It's not too much where they look fake, but it's enough to where it looks to me like a professional photo. It's like professionals around my area. If you're like in cheer, we would always go to this studio in town and they would always edit their photos like this, and it kind of reminded me of that. So I'm actually really proud of this photo because I feel like I'm finally like the photographers around in town. But other photographers in town, they wouldn't have smoothed out as much, I feel like, so I don't know. I'm actually really proud of this one because I photoshopped her hair because there was this whole circle on her back and you can see her bra going through it. So I didn't want her bra to show. The bra would have looked nice anyways because it was like a nice little pattern bra and with the shirt, but I don't know. I'm just weird about bras showing, so, and I don't know. Me and her felt the same way because she was like, you know, trying to hide it, and I was just like, you know. But I photoshopped it all out, and this one I actually took some of her hair and kind of went over because her hair had this wave effect. So I actually took part of that wave and I moved it over, added to it on the right side, and it covered that little hole, and I was actually really proud. It made her hair look thicker. I feel like I should have went all the way, but I also feel like if I would have went all the way, then you would really tell it was photoshopped because it would have been like this one continuous, like you would be able to tell that I kept taking from the left and added to the right. So this next one I loved so much. It was actually taken downtown. We have like a little downtown area. I'd say this because it's almost like it's literally a patch of city and it's kind of random, but it's a bunch of office buildings, and it's also, they have, I want to say they had like 1 or 2 boutiques, I'm not sure, but most of it's pretty much bars, and this is exactly where this was by. It was pretty much in front of a bar, and it was kind of weird because people were walking in and it was like 8 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, seriously, you're already going this early in the morning? But I think it was the owners because they looked all nice and dressed up, and they were probably just there for a drink, you know, for lunch or something. I don't know. But this was actually a very, very gray wall, super gray, and I ended up bumping up the blues, and I guess it had a blue tint to this gray, so it really had that nice blue background. We were trying to get an actual blue wall because there was this pretty, so pretty, such a pretty blue wall in town, but they got rid of it, so we made up our own blue wall, and I love this one. And his shirt, again, contrasting with the lighter blue, so it's a darker blue. And then their hair, I'm surprised I didn't bump up the browns on their hair or bump up the shadows, because the shadows is what brings out that chocolate look to their hair. But it turned out still being good. I like how their skin looks nice and fresh, and I love that there was absolutely no noise in this picture. So when I actually edited it for noise, it turned out to be a lot smoother and pretty. This next one, this one, I didn't put the other one up. This one was okay. The lighting, it was pretty much what you saw is what you get. And then this one, I think I didn't do a lot of editing to this one because it came out like this from the camera, and I was okay with it. The ISO was pumped up to about 100, 200, so it actually looked a little okay, and I actually was not worried about the ISO on this one, but I noticed when it was clear, I was like, 200, what does that mean? And it was on the ISO, and it was so pretty. And I kind of did this artistic thing to where the tree, it kind of scooped up, so I was like, okay, well, you know, I've seen photographers do this thing where you hide behind something, that way you have more depth perception, and I guess it turned out okay, but I also feel like it's just a random tree sticking out. I don't know. Put down how you feel about this picture, because to me it kind of looked awkward in a way, but to me it also looked like it added a depth perception, and I wish it was a little bit different, but I don't know. The more I look at this picture, the more awkward it gets for me. But when I first did this, I was like, ooh, there's depth perception, you know, there's some blurring right there, and it gets clear, so it focuses on them, it kind of draws your attention to them, it adds that nice, you know, there's that spiral effect, so it's like the tree, and then my brother, and then her. So I was like, it looks like a nice little spiraling effect. So, and then this one, this was at a very Catholic church, a cathedral-like church, and I saw this design. I was like, we have to get it. But my sister-in-law pointed out that when you're taking photos, everything should kind of be centered and kind of straight. So like right now this is wrong because this is wider down here and it gets up smaller, so it's like the whole room's tilted and I'm straight, so it kind of like balances off everything, but it makes everything imbalanced. So I should have focused on keeping that wall a little bit parallel to the side of the screen, kind of like I need to do right now, but I'm trying to keep my camera from falling on this tripod, so we're just going to have to deal with it on the video, but on picture wise I should have straightened that out. But I kind of like how the whole picture, everything does kind of like V in or V out, I guess you could say. So like it's almost like her hand is the middle of the picture, and if this was engagement photos, I feel like this would have been really pretty, but also that's her right hand, it's not her left hand. So if the wall's on the left side and, you know, that it would have V'd up from her hand, I feel like that would have been really pretty engagement photos. But, you know, it was her right hand. I think it's a promise ring too. I think my little brother got that for her. I'm not sure. Or maybe it was a promise ring to her family. But still, that looks like that's the main focus, and I actually like how she reaches that arm out and you can see that hand right there. It would have been nice for engagement photos if it was the right hand on the right side, but you know, with her hand doing that, I feel like her hand is the focus of the picture, and so that ring, if that ring was straight, it would have looked like I meant to do it, but I can't say that I meant to do it, so yeah. If you stayed the whole entire time, thank you. I'm going to get some coffee. I'm going to edit this, and hopefully this will be up on Wednesday. If not, thank y'all for being patient, and thank y'all so much. I just want to say, I'm just happy I got 100 followers, and I hope it just goes up from here, because I got 7. After I got 100, I was like, okay, I'm going to slow down for a little bit. Then I got 7, and I think I'm at 10 right now, 110. And last year, or year before last, like, I only got 3 subscribers every 3 months. Like, pretty much just got a subscriber a month, so it took me forever to get to 100. But I feel like now that it's at 100, it's all rolling, you know, it's all going good. So thank you for watching again. Yeah, I'm just glad I can do these photos. It's something nice that I like to do. I don't know why I'm getting so whatever. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day, and see you till next Wednesday.